Yeah, it's not a big deal. All right, all right, all right. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Hot Pudge Wednesday, one-on-one. Yes, it's official. Yes, the call. I got the phone call. Yes, they now they want Sundays and Wednesdays. Go figure. I guess the demand is high. They want to see more interviews. Thanks to all the sponsors and Anyway, whatever. I just want to do it twice a week. That's it. Yes, thank you, Mark. Yes, it's like a peek into a serial killer's basement. Put the lotion in the basket. Thank you so much. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So yes, thank you. It's official. Hot Pudge Wednesday, one-on-one. Okay, so twice a week now. Hot Pudge Sunday, one-on-one, and Hot Pudge Wednesday, one-on-one. All right, I'm excited. As always, I try to bring on kick-ass guests because that's how I do. All right. Tonight we're going to kick it off with a bang, and it reminds me of the good old days. Back in the day, when I was producing shows, I always had my allotted ass kicker closers. You know what I'm saying? Whenever I got a production somewhere in a bar, a lounge, or in a club or something, I always wanted my shows, because it would be like a weekly or monthly show, I always had my ass kickers up first. And this was one of them. So I'm very happy to have him on tonight. Pop in my Wednesday cherry, one of my ass kickers, somebody I look up to. Very glad to have him. And he's got a brand new podcast we're going to talk about. Guys, James Mattern is with us. James Mattern. He just started a new podcast called The Commissioner of Comedy. I think you guys saw. I put it up on my wall. I hope you guys saw it. There he is. That's him.
What an absolute pleasure to be here. I mean, this is so joyous. I should have wore a different color. I mean, this is too close. We just
you're
can't
fine.
wear close colors, buddy.
It's blue. No, you're bluish, greenish.
No, I should have went black as fuck.
My people should have called your people and vice versa. That's what should have happened. But obviously, everyone's fired. How you doing, man? First things first. I haven't seen you in so long, so I got to ask, how's your health? How's your family? How's your mental state?
Everything's been great. I got pregnant during the pandemic. I had triplets. I named them all Benny, and it's just working out great. Even the girls, because I don't see gender.
You don't all Benny, like George Foreman. He named everybody George, so you got them all Benny.
Well, that was egomania, so on his part. So whatever. That wasn't him being progressive. That's just like, I want it all to be me.
He wants to hear his name. That's what he wants to do.
You damn right, Bubba. Look, how many different drinks can I?
First of all, you're back home, right? You're in Nevada. You're in Vegas.
I am in Las Vegas.
Awesome. So you got away. You're with the family. You're in good hands.
I'm actually staying with my buddy and his girl. I barely seen family because a lot of them are high risk. And then when I see them, I try to keep a distance. And then my aunt, who's like my de facto mom, hugs me, and I'm like. And then for 2 weeks, I'm like, shit, I hope I didn't kill her.
So let us know, how is it out there? I mean, compared to New York, because we feel like we're in the eye of the shitstorm in the United States of America. And my neighborhood is was number one, if not number one, the hospital, Elmhurst Hospital.
Yeah, I know
we're in the top 5. That's like 5 minutes from me.
Dude, so what? The whole population of the state's like 3 or 4 million, and there's been like 5,500 cases since March. Place is spread out. It's pretty crazy. Okay. If you don't want to see 20 people in the city, you can easily do it, which is the opposite of New York, where when you get your goddamn bagel and coffee, by the time you get it, you've done 40 people. And then when you get on the train, it's 100,000. And just it's a numbers game there. It is hard to explain that to people who have only lived like in New York or in huge metropolitan areas, to explain why, like, goddamn Montana doesn't believe this is a thing.
I lived in Texas. I spent 4 years in Texas. I was in the military, so I got to see other states. So I totally understand when I see those protesters. I think both sides need to see each other's side. Like, don't hate us or don't look at us like we're weak. It is what it is. We're condensed. Yeah. And at the same time out there, it's not as aggressive because you're not as condensed. Like, yeah, you know, you can't put a blanket statement or a blanket set of regulations across the country because we're not all the same. But let's come to some kind of middle ground and understanding. You know, I totally get it. I mean, they can put the rifles away. I don't think you need a rifle to fight the virus or prove anything.
Put the goddamn rifles down. I mean,
Put the rifle away. It's a virus.
What are we doing here?
I mean, by all means, you know, go to your congressman, senator, and you can, you know, bargain, do something. But, you know, let's calm down.
Yeah.
And it's they're taking my freedom away. Okay, relax. We just don't want you to get sick. That's all. Because people are dying here. It's pretty crazy. I tell people it reminds me of a lot of 9/11.
Sure.
Because when that happened, if you weren't hit with it directly, a direct family member, you weren't more than 1 degree. I'm talking 1 little degree of separation. And that's what it feels like. Because, I mean, we know comics who got it. We know comics parents who passed away. 2 members of a distant family got it. It's like all over social media. It's like playing connect the dots. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's hard to explain it to certain people, and it's nuts. Dude, I was just talking to Leah, who I'm staying with, how crazy the whole argument for not wearing a mask is. Like, yeah, see, if you wear it for too long, it's not good for your health. Cool, you're right. Also, do you know if you drank like 4 gallons of water in 2 hours, you'd fucking die? So does that mean water is bad? Because water's good. But if you drank a lot of it, your body explodes. So it's crazy, the argument. Oh, the mask, just stop it. It's so nuts to me. Everybody's
an extremist. It's so extreme. Where's the middle? Where's the if you drink too much water, you'll drown. The middle. This is it. This is why comedy's so goddamn important. We're the middle ground. We call it the way we see it. Stop with the apologies and all this other half-ass bullshit. We are the one. We are freedom of speech square. I've always said that. The rest of the regular people have the freedom of speech. We have the freedom of speech square because we take it to that next level. We're the archaeologists of the world. We can see and translate, just like an archaeologist. If you go to the pyramids, you're not going to be able to read that shit. But an archaeologist with a trained eye can read and decipher, and that's what we do.
Pudge,
that's what we do.
To compare what we do to Margaret Mead, thank you.
I'm just saying. And,
I'm reading a Star Wars comic book about a archaeologist who hates the world. She's like a bad person. She has no morals. It's fucking great. So this is just perfect timing.
Is it a new updated Star Wars?
It's like the new Marvel shit from like the last 4 years. She's like incredibly popular.
Okay.
She's never been on the screen. Her name is Dr. Aphra. She is a archaeologist who double crosses Darth Vader. She's a lesbian. She's clearly Asian in the way she's drawn, and she hangs out with basically a homicidal C-3PO and R2-D2. Touchdown, everybody.
Wow. They should have made that one instead of the last 3.
Touchdown.
They should have made that one.
There's rumors that it might be a Disney Plus show that they're secretly making. But
anything to make us forget the last 3. Anything to make us forget 7, 8, and 9, because that was hellacious. That was
7. I rewatched 7. I thought was pretty cool, man.
I took it. I took it because it was good to get the band back together. You just wanted to see the band. That was what it's about. That's just the band back together. That's it. And then they played the same old song. You know what I'm saying? Look, another Death Star, but it's a death planet. And
9, I got so furious at 9, and the fact that people were so happy with 9, I was like furious. It's like, it's the same fucking trilogy. They're like, no, I don't see why. How do you compare it to Jedi? The good guys won? Because the motherfucking Emperor was back, and the bad guy flips, but then helps. Stop it. Just stop. Stop making the same movie, please. Can we just? There's other ideas. Jesus
what's even worse? How did he come back? Just like that. As soon as the word comes up, he's back. That's it. That's it, bro. Just like that.
Just because.
Just like that. It was like you read the words. He's back. Oh, he's back. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was
fucking hilarious.
They took the girl. What's her the arc of the main character, the girl. Which where'd she come from? Why did her parents dump her? Who is she? Who's she related? They took that and threw it away. Because that was,
No,
I thought that was a good start. But they threw it away, and then Emperor, and here's the Emperor, like
yo,
just poof.
they should have took that actress's like real story. She was just a waitress, just like plucked out, and now her whole life changes, and now she's a Jedi. Can I just say how difficult it is to do comedy on Instagram Live? If they could just get rid of that goddamn number, it gets in my head. I look at it. I shouldn't care if anyone's watching, and it fucks with my skull.
I've been doing a lot of tutorials because this is I'm branching out into this.
Yeah.
It's not about what you have now, because it's going, as long as, first of all, it's saved, and then it goes to the YouTube channel, and it's going to live. So people are going to see this. This is important. This is groundbreaking.
I'm
okay,
never been more happy. We don't know how to put the show I do on Thursdays on Instagram Live with Nathan McIntosh, settle something where two dear friends who've only argued, this is the only way we communicate for 8 years, argue. We don't know how to put it on YouTube, so you've already won. You've won the internet.
Get the fuck out.
Yeah, we've tried. He gets frustrated. I think he's thrown a couple of phones through the window. Yeah.
Really? Oh, my God. Oh, yo, this whole lockdown has been this personal embrace that I'm doing to take on what I've ignored. I was brought up under the old school comedy, right, stage time, craft, right, work on your craft, stage time, and I totally ignored the social media, the marketing, the content, and all that other stuff. So I'm doing that now. The problem is I'm a technological dumbass. So that was the biggest thing I've been talking about during my whole thing. I'm right now, like, I don't get it. The only reason I have a YouTube channel is my son created it, and I'm having trouble. Yeah, I'm having trouble with my Facebook Live. I was able to get one over, but now I can't anymore. Instagram Live was a huge headache because it wasn't saving the lives. I had to download an app, find an app download to record what's on the screen. So I bypassed it to record. It's a screen recorder, and then it records it. Then I put it on YouTube, but it didn't look good. And then all of a sudden last week I got IGTV. Where the hell it was, I don't know. So now it is being saved. Are you following me? Because I'm already lost. But now it's IGTV. So it's going to be IGTV, but then I don't know how to send it from IGTV to YouTube. So I'm in the middle. I'm with you, but it's like I'm scattered.
Do you think?
But getting back to the point, it doesn't matter what the number says. It's going to get saved. We're on the groundbreaking level 1 entry of the Commissioner of Comedy podcast.
Yes, sir.
Hot Pudge Sunday and Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people tonight. But 5 years from now, when we're at that next level, they're coming back to this.
Yeah, this is how Rome would have started.
Huh?
Rome would have started like this. Pompey or Julius Caesar would have just had 2 people watching on a Wednesday, and then in 3 years, fucking feeding Christians to lions.
But isn't this how
like this? Two peeps.
You heard the story of Disney. They opened up Disney World, and not all the rides worked. The paint was still wet, and it was half-assed. And look at them now. So I'm proud of this. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine.
Terrific. I just hate it as a performance because I think a lot of us come here because we didn't get enough attention, and we constantly were like, "Hey, look at me!" And now you can see who's not looking at you. That's why the Zoom shows I love. There's people trapped there. You can fuck with them. You can go like, "Hey, look at you, blue shirt, blip, blip, blip." It's like comedy. I can hear laughs and all. I can't hear laughs other than you, which is great. And all I can see is not enough people hugging me. It's the craziest thing. I'm coming to grips with at least talking about it. But that seems to be my issue with Instagram Live. It is so difficult to not just look at numbers. It's hard to be present. It's very hard.
I find this easier and fun. What I find more difficult is when I do my Hot Pudge Sunday Facebook Live, where I'm by myself. I do it at a different location around New York City just to make it fun and active.
Look at you.
Yeah. I did Coney Island. I did Flushing Meadow Park. I did the Pepsi Cola sign. I did Times Square. I'm trying to hit all the boroughs and stuff. So yeah, but that I find hard and scary because I'm by myself. I'm outside. It's like I'm worried about the visual. I'm worried about the audio. I'm
Oh
talking
man.
about myself to myself. Maybe I'll see somebody chime in. Maybe I won't. I embrace this because I'm with you. But when I do that by myself, that's when I have a hard time. That's when the numbers fuck with me a little bit, and no one's chiming in or typing in. Or I see people come in and then they disappear. I don't know if you ever get. You see somebody, oh look, and then they disappear.
Yo, I do it too, and I feel bad. Last night, I just checked in. I just want my boy to know, like, nice guitar, and he goes, James, and then he started talking wild, and I got the fuck out, and I just went and rented a Justice League movie. That's what I did, dog. What up, big?
It's weird, but I'm sticking to it because if it's difficult, then I want to work my way out of it. I want to get better. It also keeps my brain working. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not being on stage, not being on my stage, I feel like I'm losing my mental edge and sharpness.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's good to do something. Now,
yeah.
Everyone, this is an unprecedented time, and once in a lifetime situation. So whatever gets you through, if just eating goddamn cookies gets you through, it's not healthy, but do it. If just sitting around and binge watching or reading or whatever, cool. But if you are creative, you probably miss doing something. So do something creative. Learn a new avenue in this. There is an absolute chance that stand-up as we know it will evolve, devolve, disappear. Comedy will go somewhere else, but we might not. This might not work out, people coming back. So what are you going to fucking do? You're going to go get a regular job? Well, everyone else is out of a job trying to get a regular job when they come up. There's going to be less of those.
Right.
So you got to have to figure it out. And since you're locked inside, why won't you start a fucking podcast, do these, take chance? How does this hurt anybody? Just go and do it and be creative. And it doesn't matter about the goddamn numbers or anything because people will come and go. But if you're expressing yourself and being who you are creatively, that's all that matters. That's truly all that matters.
This is why you're the commissioner of comedy. It's official. I mean, I'm giving you my blessing. Thank you. I think it's much needed. Much needed. I can't tell you how many conversations.
Yes. We're not doing it. Let's talk about it more.
Well, yeah, this is the time where a lot of young comics especially need to watch and learn. Because sometimes I think they're spinning their wheels so fast, but they're not going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So what better person than you, a commissioner, to square everybody away? Because sometimes, I don't know. I've had conversations with other comedians and we see the younger comedians and we're scratching our heads a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's easy to have happen. I even say this on the show. My thoughts are not foolproof. This is all debate. This is kind of like law and medicine. You are not an expert. You are just practicing it. You've studied, you've done things. You should know things, but it's still a practice. So basically, I even tell people, email me with complaints, other discussions, questions, and we'll just discuss it. And there's no foolproof, but I do see people not caring about the craft and just thinking they can be funny and do their own goddamn thing. And there's more to it. And look, I didn't listen when I was younger either. So here's just a chance.
Here's the thing. I didn't listen, but I remembered. And some lessons take time to learn.
Yes.
So if a senior comic, and this, I don't know what it is. I mean, back in the day, we loved our seniority. We used to look up. I looked up to you. And if anybody spoke to me, I would listen. Sure. And sometimes I didn't understand, or I may have not gotten it, but in time I did get it. I remember, you know what I'm saying? Okay, a perfect example, Laugh Lounge. I was a little open micer, and Delilah's giving me 5-6 minute spots, and it's like a Tuesday night, several people spread out. You remember the Laugh Lounge? It holds like 150, but it gets pretty. Yeah, and everyone's spread out, and I had my solid 5 minutes. I had my solid 5-6 minutes that I'm rocking and rolling with. I go up there and I just eat a dick because I'm delivering this 5-6 minutes that I have, but I eat a dick. Next after me comes Artie Fuqua, who just stopped by. He jumps on, he kills him.
Yeah, yeah.
He's destroyed. He's all over the place. They're laughing. They're having a ball. It's a party now. He comes off stage, and I saw him look at me because he saw the face. I think he read my face.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's that seniority reading my what the fuck just happened? Look, and he just looked at me and said, "Sometimes they just want to be talked to."
Well, that's he's
And
doing it. Yeah.
I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I left there like, I don't understand. I have 5 good minutes. Why? I don't get. But the more you do it, the more, after maybe several more months, oh shit, I remember what he said. I got it now. I got it. I gotta adjust accordingly. I gotta, I just can't go up there and mechanically deliver. You know what I'm saying? He goes, that's what he was doing. He was telling jokes too. He had his bits,
Yeah.
but he was talking to them as well, engaging, like, calling the moment. He was doing everything a great comic does. And I didn't know that at the time, but I got it later on.
But it's like anything else, it's repetition. And that's the important thing. You need to go on stage. You need to fail. You need to learn. You need to take chances. And you need to get in front of 1 billion different people so you can tell what 1 billion different people, how they react, and how to make something work for everybody, or as many buddies as you can. That's very important. And the only way you do it is getting up. And how do you get up? By being chill, by not being a son of a bitch. And that's what we're trying to talk about in this podcast.
You have to adjust to every room and every situation. I wrote something that just popped in my mind. It's like delivering a bit, just one bit, is like delivering a 5-yard pass in football. A 5-yard pass, the most simplest play in football, a 5-yard pass for the quarterback, right? Simple. Well, how's he got to do it? Okay, he's got to throw the 5-yard to the wide receiver left. He's got to throw it to the wide receiver right. He's got to be able to dump it to the running back. He's got to be able to do it while he's getting blitzed straight up the middle. He's got to do it while he's getting blitzed from the right. He's got to do it while he's getting blitzed to the left. He's got to do it with the slot receiver. And then when he finally has them all down, what happens? Shotgun. Okay, so now he's got to do it. So this 5-yard pass, he's got to be able to throw this pass 15, 20, 30 different ways under different conditions. Just one pass. And that's how it's like I equate to comedy. You can have a solid joke, but you got to be able to deliver it under different circumstances in different rooms. And that takes practice.
That's a valid theory, my friend. Years ago, real struggling, I would take anything I could get. And I went and I got called to do an Opie and Anthony were still together, and I think they were still on the radio. I went and did it was a car crash comedy, that thing, and they want you to fail. And it's a horrible situation. And just a bunch of comics, young comics, and you go up there and you just have to perform for Jim Norton, for Opie, Anthony, and Patrice was still alive. And it's fucking difficult. And then all the other comics are like in a rafters. They're not going to sell your jokes. Like the top 5 people are going to go to front of the line at last comic standing. And I was so heartbroken. Patrice just shook his head. Norton defended me, and the other 2 were just shitty to me. And I knew I was probably better than like everyone there, and it fucked with me. And that night, I've got all mope dick, and I'm walking around, and I go to Caroline's, and I see DeMeo. Well, I knew just a little bit, and I told him, and he's like smoking and drinking whiskey in the back, taking his it's the great Mark DeMeo, and he's like, "What we do is so difficult. When everything is perfect, it's difficult. When the lighting's good, when the mic's not too loud or too quiet, when the audience drinking but not drunk, when the server's whispering and the food's already out and the drinks, and you go on in that sweet spot, even then, it's real difficult. So you change any situation to that from it being perfect, and it's even tougher." And that's always stuck with me, is that's really what it is what we do is incredibly difficult. That's why we get frustrated when people like to throw variables like talking, or server likes to be loud, or another comic yells shit at you. Anything like that. Beer bottles dropping, and
we developed rabbit eyes and rabbit ears.
Yeah. When it's perfect, it's still incredibly difficult. It's undoing a bomb. You know how to do it. You're trained in it, but it's still difficult. And now add other shit going on. And that's what it is, man.
And it's always going to be like that. And it is what it is. And that's why we embrace it in a way, because we know. And we keep coming back.
Maybe we got nowhere else to go. I mean, what else are you going to do? I can't tell you the last time I had a real job. I don't know how to do shit. I used to know how to wait tables. If my life depended on me going up to someone and upselling right now, that bullet's going straight through the brain. It's just not a chance. I wouldn't know how to do it. It's done. I'm in the Army, baby. I'm a military.
It's going to be interesting when we start back. A lot of people are speculating, and there's rumors like, hey, all the hierarchy, all the big heavyweights that used to sell stadiums and theaters are going to come down to the clubs, and then everyone else is going to just get bumped all the way down. That's not going to leave much room.
Everyone needs to stop with this speculation and crazy. Here's the thing. Bigger acts can still go play theaters. I have a buddy who knows someone with the big ticket agencies and that, and the speculation is that you can still do comedy in medium-sized venues and just spread it out, and that's better. That you can get away with that. People can do that, or some of these people will stay home because they don't need to go out and they're okay and they can work on other projects. There is so much fear in the comedy community right now about this, and we can't control nothing. No one is convinced that there'll never be comedy more than the comedy community, which is fitting of our people, because we're just always pessimistic and scared, and it's just our nature. It's why we ended up here. But the fact of the matter is, you talk to regular human beings, they can't fucking wait to go to comedy. That's why all this sky is falling shit cool. I know there will be something again, because I talk to regular people who aren't in show business, and they're like, I'll go right now. What if you have to wear a mask? No mask. I'm ready. Fuck them. Let's go. We don't need it. I'm not scared of anything. I want to be entertained. I know at some point I'm probably going to have to catch this, unless a miracle happens and this mutates, or there's a vaccine tomorrow and they can get it to 4 billion people, whatever's on Earth, 7 billion people in a day, which isn't going to happen. Regular folk are ready for comedy. It's comics. Who's going to go? People who still hate their lives. People who hate their jobs, but now can't go to their jobs and realize it might be miserable, but I can't wait to go back and actually make a living and be a person again. And when they do that, they're going to still want to go out on a Friday or a Saturday, drink something and fucking laugh, and maybe get laid.
Well, hey, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think in the beginning it's going to be a little weird. Maybe there are going to be some limitations, but I figure by Christmas we should be 100. I figure Christmas we should be 100. There'll probably be limitations because school's going to come back in September. Everyone's going to be hustling, bustling, so they're going to regulate and test the waters. But I think it'll come back. It's definitely coming back 100.
It's so hilarious that people think, who's going to go to a comedy show? Do you realize right now we have a goddamn new stadium fucking 8 minutes from where I'm staying right now in Las Vegas?
Yes.
That everyone would go, if it was tomorrow, would pile into that brand new stadium to watch the fucking Raiders. No question. And the fact that I love this, I've loved people in comedy. There's no way there's going to be comedy. The state of California is not having concerts or sporting events. Are you comparing 20 people on a Wednesday at a club in Manhattan to the fucking
30,000, 40,000
Rams and Rage Against the Machine and Coachella? Coachella? There's not going to be Coachella until 2020. Do you realize how many hundreds of thousands of people go to Coachella? And you're worried that you can't do your usual Tuesday night to 8 people on the Upper West Side? Like you are comparing that.
They'll adjust. I think there'll be an adjustment. I think maybe they'll add more shows. Maybe they'll have a 6 o'clock show now.
There could be. I think people are going to want to be entertained. It's just
there might be matinees.
People were going out. One of my favorite bands is this metal group called Ghost, and their whole last album was basically about the bubonic plague. And there's a song called Dance Macabre where people basically knew they were going to catch something and they still went out and lived. And that plague was way deadlier than this. And so people still lived. People are like, fuck it. If I go, I go. I'm going to go out swinging. Yay. And that's going to happen now. It's just, but it's fun to say it's all over. Who's going to leave the house? Plenty. I got invited to 8 cookouts Sunday. 8
people.
We're in phase 1. 8 cookouts.
What? Yeah, no. What I noticed, because Monday the whole neighborhood barbecues. When I'm noticing is families, maybe not as a city as a whole, but families are breaking quarantine.
Sure.
My family, I've noticed that they broke. Now they're not. Hey, you guys didn't go anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. We're both safe, so let's link, let's hook up. I'm noticing families breaking quarantine now. Like they're already testing the waters within. So I think we're in a personal phase 1. I mean, I got a haircut from somebody on my other side of the family.
Excellent.
Oh, thank you. So I'm guilty of it too. I went to a cookout on Monday, my sister-in-law's. So I think we're already testing the waters.
Don't you love that though? Don't you love the people though who are pretending that they actually care about people? It's kind of hilarious. There's people who are like, I refuse. We need to stay in this till there's a vaccine. I won't lose anyone. Dude, you don't know any crazy. I love when people pretend that they are being high and mighty and just do the obvious. I don't want anyone to die. Who the fuck is rooting for people to die? It's kind of like people are like, you know what I hate? Racist. Really? Again, cool. Yeah, because you're human. You shouldn't.
I don't know. Everything's coming back. It's coming back. Now, let me ask you this, because I know you personally. How much do you miss sports?
I do. I mean, I'm antsy to see things. I don't get to watch it as much, so I would really enjoy more now, since I'm not working at night. I'm doing shit during the day, but usually at night, like when I'm done with you, it's time to chill, and that would be nice. So I'm hoping that the NBA and the NHL get their deals down and we can have something. But there's been other things. There's still wrestling. It'd be great if there was an audience for that. That'd be fun. The Jordan documentary got treated like people were still. It was hilarious. It's like, do you think the Bulls can beat the? Yeah, they did in '98. I saw it in '97 as well. It's been played. There's records that say it's happened. There's banners up. But it was fun to see a 10-part documentary treated so important, like it was a part of the culture, and it was, because you had nothing else. Everyone's sick of Lance Armstrong. That fucking 30 for 30, I still haven't seen it. It got huge ratings. Everyone's like, oh, I don't like him. If I find one of those bands left over, I'm sick of him. I'm burn it. Like, forget that he did a good cause for people, and they're like, oh, we're used to watching something on Sunday. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's must-see TV now. Freaking everybody's watching. Yeah. I don't know who got their deal done first. I think hockey. Hockey got their deal done first. Are they the ones coming back?
Still not approved yet, but they have a plan in place that I believe still needs to get voted on. I think it's going to happen. NBA is getting closer.
Okay.
Baseball, which people thought was going to be the one, if I had to bet, might be the one that doesn't happen. The players look like they don't want to play for a haircut.
Wow. My money was on baseball by the 4th of July. By 4th of July.
It looks like the NBA might start 4th of July in Orlando.
Wow. Yeah, they're going to play their games in the Disney complex.
That's what it looks like. Yes.
Yeah, controlled. That's fine.
Great.
And I think it'll be a huge relief. We'll make it through the summer. Just give us a little sports. Just give us something. We'll make it through the summer.
It's weird because I was talking to my boy about it. It's like, I'm clearly going to root for Vegas. If this plan goes through, we're going to have a bye in the NHL playoffs, and we could win this. And I predicted it before we had the team in 2016. I made a joke to a friend of mine from Canada. I was like, hey, 2020 champions, Knights. He's like, he laughed. And then we came close the first year. And then I texted him this year. I go, it's going to happen. But it's a half a title. Same with myself. I'm going to tell you, anything could happen in the NBA this year. My Celtics could go on a run, and we don't know what the format's going to be. It can feel like a half a title. No one's going to give you any credence to it. So it's weird that I'm still going to root for my teams, and I think both my teams have a shot at winning the title. But it's almost, would I rather save your load for next time? It almost feels like you're spinning it out by yourself.
I'm looking forward to the baseball because I like the configuration where it's East, West, and Central, and in the East it's the Mets, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Nationals, and the Phillies, fucking battling each other. I mean, it's like a true East. So
Something
that I'm
different.
looking that it's yes, absolutely, more Met, and now with the Met and Yankee games, there's more on the line because you're both in the same division. That's got to be kick ass.
Yeah, I like that. I think it's a fun year where they're going to do different things. The NHL is going to have 24 teams. The NBA might do a group phase like the World Cup soccer, which is fascinating. So this could lead, just like we're talking earlier about our industry, necessity is the mother of invention. And so 20 years from now, people might be like, oh, they didn't do a group phase for the NBA playoffs? Yeah. They, in the old-timey days of 2019 and before, we just had 16 teams. You don't know what'll catch on, and that will strike our fancy. This is interesting times. This is where we're all taking chances, and we should, because the world has changed, and there's no putting the goddamn toothpaste back in. It's out. So see what you can do with it.
I was watching Joey Diaz, his podcast. He was talking about this is it. This is when you take a chance. This is your opportunity. This is when you throw it out there. This is the time. So I'm kind of happy. Look, you got you're starting the Commish podcast. I'm doing this. Let's rock and roll. Let's launch. Brother, I think now is the time.
It is one of those things where you have nothing to lose. It's house money. You know, hopefully you get unemployment. Hopefully you can get a little something in, or you got something stacked away, and you'll be okay. And now you can really take chances with your art. And then hopefully in a few months we can all get back and make a living. But the beautiful thing is, look, your hands are tied. So now you have to do something. Let's go back to Star Wars. You got the blast shield on. How am I supposed to fight? You just have to trust and go with it. And you'll see what happens. And that's the beautiful thing. We have to embrace it. And this is a very scary time, and it's very shitty. Yeah. And I don't like these people acting like they're happy, and it's disrespectful. I've talked to people. I'm having fun, aren't you? Fuck you. No one's having fun. How dare you act because you get to not work in a house that this is great. But this is a time that we can look back upon, hopefully in a few years, and go, this was a big change, not just for the world, but for me personally, and this led to where I could go. I found my place after this. And it took time. It was scary, but I took a chance, and I discovered something, and I went in a new direction that is wonderful. And hopefully that happens.
Personally, I think this is it for me. And absolutely for you with this podcast. It's much needed. I love it. I heard the first 2 episodes. I'm going to listen to the third.
One, baby.
Yeah, I saw that. Quitting.
People are going nuts.
A lot of people say maybe they may not come back. I don't know. It's going to be, some people may not come back. Some people may need to get jobs. Some people, this is a turning point.
But I did that episode, yes, a little of that, but in general, because it's an important part of comedy, is to think about quitting. I don't trust anyone who doesn't think about quitting. It's just a human thing. What we're doing is insane. You should think about it nonstop. There should be that mechanism of normal in you that goes, maybe I should quit. And then if you really love it, you tell that voice to shut the fuck up. And that's when you know you're a goddamn comic.
I've said that. It's like a special something. There's a disconnect in the comedian's head, because in a normal human being, if you attempt something, you try it and you fail. Hey, I'm not good at baseball. I'm not good at chess. I'm not good. That's it for me. I'm not a tennis player. I'm done. But we fail from the get. We fail from the beginning, and we fail miserably on stage and public. We fail in the worst possible way. But there's a disconnect to say, hey, that fucking sucked. It hurts. I hate it. I want to cry. I'm going to do it again tomorrow.
Get right back up again.
Yeah. So it's like, there is something. It's a beautiful disconnect is what I call it. But it is what it is. And as far as the quitting, it pops in my mind. A lot of what if scenarios. But then I stop and think about a normal life, and I can't. It's I can't fathom. 9 to 5 or whatever it is that they do.
It's that great analogy, and I say this in the new episode. Please download the Commissioner Comedy, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. 3 episodes out. New one drops Monday night. The new one is about we take care of our own, but quitting is out now, and I talk about from the movie Comedian, the story Jerry Seinfeld tells Orny Adams about the Glenn Miller Orchestra walking through
in the snow
to the gig, and they look in a window and it's a perfect family, a Norman Rockwell painting, and they got chestnuts and pie and food and the dog and a fire, and they look at each other and go, how do they live like this? That's what it's about. There's no reason not to think that grass is greener on the other side, but eventually you realize the grass is pretty fucking cool here, and that's when you know you're a comic. We're swashbucklers.
And let me ask you something. You're Commish, like, because I have issues, and a lot of comedians must go through the same thing. How hard is it? And you see it in family, and friends and family when they look at you. Yeah. And how hard is it to explain, or convince, or for them to understand where we are? And they almost look at you like, what do you? You know, that's got to be the most difficult thing. You know, somebody was telling me about getting me a job. Hey, Pudge, I can get you, you should go UPS. And I'm like, no, they're thinking, logically, oh yeah, full-time job, benefits, retirement, that whole normal humdrum. And I said, no, that's not me. I said, hey, that's great opportunity. Thank you. But no, okay, that's not, I can't do it. It's not me. Okay. As a comedian, we go like Don Rickles. We go like Joan Rivers. We go up to the end. To the end. George Burns. How I grew up. You just keep going to the end. There's no retirement. Everyone, I've had family members they send me jobs applications and this and 401k and, oh, you were in the military, you should do this and retire. How do you explain? Does that fuck with you? Because sometimes it bothers the shit out of me. It's like,
I don't get it much anymore because I think people realize there was nothing they could do, that this was how it was. And I was just going to do it. And then they saw me tank horribly out here. And I think that almost worked better in my favor. The fact that I made it to the final 4 of a contest out here and got one decent laugh, and it was an ad lib, and got crushed. And I was doing a weirder act. I was trying to be like a Kaufman. And they could tell there was not a chance I was going to stop. And people just stopped chirping. And then I moved, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you hear, oh, I'm getting some gigs. And even my pops, the last real thing I said, he gave up on trying to convert me out. And he was just like, be who you is, boy. Go out there and do your thing.
Wow. So he wasn't behind you.
I understand what you're doing, but go do it. I get it. I get this is what you are. You can't take the stripes off a tiger, baby.
I always hear stories about the comedians whose parents were behind them 100%. And I'm like, I have no idea what that is. I don't, that's another story. I never even told them because I didn't want to share that. It's too personal. But but they sent me.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I just had someone close to me who was actually the first person to really have my back in this. Last year was like, so what? We're worried about you. So what is going to happen if you don't make it? And I think the term "make it" is so fucking ridiculous. And I'm probably going to talk about that in an episode or 2. Make it is different. One person's make it is someone else's fail, and vice. It doesn't matter. I'm never going to be a billionaire at this, and I could care less. I just want to make a living, because you're going to have to make a living some way. If you do it this way with something you love, that's all that matters. But it was really like, well, what are you going to do? You're getting closer to retirement. Fuck, I don't know, dude. I guess I'm just going to have to keep doing this and figure out a way to make more money, because what am I going to get now in my 40s? Do you think I can go to Wall Street? Do you think can I go to law school now and just make all that money in 20 years before I'm 65? Like, what do you think it is? It's hilarious, and people, they mean well. Dude,
no, they do.
Everyone's story's different.
They do. And also what bites me is we have a mutual comedy friend that's very successful, and I have members of my family who knew him from back in the day.
Sure.
And when he started and we worked together, and now he's, he took off, and I get that. Why is he there, and why are you here? Why aren't you
Everyone's
there?
path is different.
Oh, what's happening? And it's like, well, I know, I'm not stressing it, but they just look at me with such, like, you're doing something wrong, or you're failing, or you're not good at, it's like, and I can't explain. First of all, there's no system in comedy. There's no system. There's no,
Catch can, my boy. Catch can.
So that's why I try to tell them, I'm like, everyone's different. And I just try to tell them the Rodney story. Rodney didn't make it till he was in his 40s or 50s, okay? It happens differently for everybody. Not everybody's Eddie Murphy, okay, who broke out when he was 18, 19. It's just, it's hard. It's hard. That's why if I do bump into somebody who wants to be a comedian, I tell them to go be an astronaut. It's easier. Go be a doctor, a lawyer. It's easier because
they really are meant to do it, and that's the beauty of it.
Exactly. I deter them. I said, no, go be an astronaut. It's easier because there's a plot, there's a plan. You can Google how to be an astronaut, and it'll be like, okay, go to school A, go to school B, C, D, and just go straight. Same thing with a lawyer, doctor, teacher, whatever. But when it comes to comedy, it's a fucking jungle, and it's a roller coaster, and you don't know where the fuck it is. It's everywhere. You don't know.
When I watch The Jungle Book, which I try to watch once a month, I just feel like that constantly. When I watch my boy Bagheera try to save the man cub, I just feel like this.
Yeah. It's nuts, man. It's a crazy craft, but I love it, and
it's the best.
And it's the best. And I'm like getting back to your commish. Where are you gonna go with this? Are you gonna go? Because I want you to go video. Like, I want to see more of you.
I tried filming the episode today. I have some footage I might put for episode 5 up. If we ever get back to New York, they'll film me. We'll see. I was playing to it's like stupid. I'd rather just do the stuff. We'll see. We might have some footage I put out. I might also just record myself doing a few riffs from it and putting it out for promotion. You never know. But
because I'm excited.
Medium, and
I'm
someone
excited.
compared it to like a book on tape, and so that's nice. And so we'll do that. Eventually, we'll get some guests, but whatever. You don't know where it's going yet, and that's the beauty of it.
Okay, because I want to point all these young comics to you. Before I used to recommend, get the Bible, the Comedy Bible. It's a great book. You can learn a lot. It'll give you the basics. Just get the basics and go. And I don't know with these young comedians. Let me ask you, Commish, how much has technology and social media, has messed up like comedy? Has it thrown it off with these young comics? I feel like it's done something to not. I don't know. It's just not the same, or it's not where it's supposed to be.
It isn't the same, but it's probably where it's supposed to be. That's really what it is. We have to be who we are, and we shouldn't just run and pander. And I mean, I'm seeing 60-year-olds on TikTok, and it's like, okay, this is wild. The fact of the matter is, the style of comedy is different for what people want. They want awkward. The style fits the internet. It fits this age and social media. And this is what they're supposed to be doing. Now, coming to the club, you're going to get your teeth knocked out unless you're selling out and people are coming to see you. But if you are selling out, that's what it's about. People forget, basically, we should be artists. But the way we get on stage, eventually the key is to get asses in seats. I'm still a wrestling fan, and people always complain about the new generation is, oh my God, it's just fancy bullshit. It's like video games. It's not storytelling. And they said that 30 years ago about a young Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, and we all talk about how they're the best ever. It's what the people want. And so I might not get some of these internet stars and what they're doing, but they're drawing people. And so that's working. Doesn't mean it's necessarily comedy. And when they come to a club, a lot of them will fail. They'll be arrogant about it. And if they want to learn to get better, they will. But I can't get mad at them because they're actually achieving success. And that's what it is. You can't be bitter. Figure out how to do your own version of it. Or just be a working hand at a club like I am. And that's what it is. It's fine. We all have roles. It's all what it is.
Right. I just feel like with the technology and the social media, it has sped up so many parts of the machine
Sure.
fast forwarded, and I see these young comics just moving at the speed of light. But at the end of the day, the craft takes time. It takes years, unless I'm missing something. I mean,
it's interesting. I want to see all these people who put out 300 clips a week. They're either going to become the most prolific comics of all time, or a lot of what they put out is mediocre, and that's I don't know if that helps the brand overall, or maybe your fan base grows with you. Maybe this is like seeing a band put out 1 or 2 albums that are not great, but you see the shine in them and you grow with them. And you don't know, but interesting to see people put out 6-7 sets a week, and you're like, fuck, I don't even think you get up 4 times a week.
I don't see. I'm lost. That's what. See, I don't want to be that. I don't want to be that guy. Get off my lawn.
Sure.
But I was speaking to a comic who's maybe 2 years or less, probably I think less than 2 years old, and the comic was like, "Yeah, I got 20 minutes." I mean, it was a knee-jerk react. It was a knee-jerk reaction. I was like, "No, you don't."
I thought I had an hour 3 months in. Thought I had an hour because I did like what did I do? I did 6 10-minute sets. And I thought that they're all great. And you realize I maybe had 2 minutes out of that. That worked. 2.
That's what I'm saying. And the comic looks at me like they don't understand. And I don't know. And that's why I say get the Bible, just get the basic formula. Do you know the formula of a bit? Do you know the formula? Do you know what the LPMs are? Do you know your LPMs? Do you know? And then you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, here's another one. They do the history. If this is what you're going to do, you have to do your research. Do you know who Lenny Bruce is? Do you know who he is? He's our Jesus. He died on the cross.
Baby, you went next level on that.
I'm just saying, he gave birth. Without him, then came Carlin and Pryor. You know what I'm saying?
I know Lenny Bruce. He's on that Miss Maisel show. Yeah, man. I know it.
I'm just saying. It's like they just think they're gonna jump into it and have an account and get a lot of likes and I got 30 minutes in 6 months, and I'm like, what? Am I missing something?
The important thing is to remember, we all at some point probably had that, me included. So all I'm trying to do is tell people to be a lot smarter than I was, and I'm not 100%, but this could help you. And it's also my show is more about etiquette and just the fight and the grind. There's another wonderful podcast. I don't know the name. It just dropped. Brant Topler and someone else. I was one of the first guys to put Topler up out here, Topler, and they're doing it, and they seem to be giving more specifics about how to get this done and that. Mine's more about the lifestyle of being a comedian, and which is something I kind of gathered from the great Colt Cabana's Art of Wrestling podcast. It's just about the celebration of the journey. And so hopefully people want to go on the journey, and I see a lot of people from hosting at New York Comedy Club and late night and that, and sometimes I jump on and host their late night comedy Zoom show, and I see comics who can't wait to do a few minutes of jokes during quarantine because they want this, and it's still there. And the shortcuts, you know, God's going to cut you down at some point, and that's the thing. But if you can build a career through this stuff, I can't get mad at you. It's where it's going. People hated people going on TV. People are pissed that they're not in vaudeville anymore. It's what it is, man.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is, but the craft doesn't change. The craft, I mean, I'm all on board. I'm all on board. I get the technology, but the craft is the craft, and it takes years. It takes years. It's a slow process that you can't speed up.
That's it.
I think that's the way it is.
Get your
James,
reps.
It's been a pleasure. Let me wrap things up.
Thank you. Good luck with this. Commissioner Comedy, Apple, Spotify. Settle Something with Nathan McIntosh every Thursday, 2:30 in Hawaii, 666 in hell. Also, I got music that's dope on SoundCloud as MDMD. SoundCloud MDMD. Just staying creative. Check this out. Mad love to Hot Fudge. Wednesday and Sunday. I can't wait in 5 years for the 5-year anniversary to come here when we're just drinking whatever champagne has evolved to, and it's gonna be great.
How often does Commish drop? Is it once a week? Once a month?
Once a week. Technically we drop on Tuesday, but sometimes I just put it out early on Monday so I can make clips. So check it out, baby. Just subscribe. Whoop, whoop, do that, and you'll get it as soon as it's available. Sometimes it's before Tuesday. Christmas comes
Commissioner
early,
of
baby.
Comedy. Commissioner of Comedy, James Mattern. Thank you for,
baby.
yo, I can't wait to get back to New York. I'll see you back in the clubs.
Sounds good, family. Thank you. Merci.
Be safe, man.
You too, fam.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, James Mattern, the one and only, the Commissioner, James Mattern. Guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you again for James Mattern for coming on. Hey, I want to have him on again. He's one of the senior, most veteran comics and nicest comics I know here in the New York scene. So definitely, he's chock full of information. You can't help but learn when you're around him. So much love, James. Definitely follow. Again, the Commissioner drops every week. He's got, I think, 4 episodes out. Check it out. And thank you, everybody, for watching Hot Pudge Wednesday. It's official, the Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one. All right, so now it's twice a week. Hot Pudge Sunday one-on-one and Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one every week. All right, I got Megan Hanley coming up this Sunday. I got Al Martin, who just dropped his book, comedian, club owner, and now author, Al Martin. He's going to be coming up on June 3rd. I got Sean Latham. He does a cooking show. He was on Barstool. I got also Teresa De Gaetano and the one and only Daniel Parafan. Yes, you know it's going to be a show when he's on. So these are the lineups I got so far for the rest of May and a little bit of June. So I hope to see you guys soon. I'll be posting the schedule, and shout out to everybody who did my 6 feet 6 questions. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. You can go to my YouTube channel, 6 feet 6 questions, where I'm going around all New York City interviewing comedians and other guests. Corona style interview, 6 feet 6 questions. A lot of fun. A lot of comedians you already know. I've already been to Harlem, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens. Probably going to hit Staten Island real soon. So again, thanks to everybody who's been on 6 feet 6 questions. I drop 2 episodes a week, every week. I think I'm already on my 6th one. It's going to be at least 16 episodes. I'm going to do it for May or June. I don't know if I'm going to go July, but yeah, I drop 2 episodes a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So yeah, got my hands full. Let's see, we got the Hot Pudge Sunday Facebook Live, 1 o'clock on Sundays, Sunday nights. I got the Hot Pudge Sunday one-on-one on Instagram, 8 o'clock, and now on Wednesdays, Hot Pudge Wednesday one-on-one on Instagram. So I'm keeping busy. What else am I supposed to do? All right, it's the Corona lockdown. So, hey, I'm moving into my next phase. I'm stretching. I'm branching out. I'm diversifying. I'm not waiting for the stage. It'll come. It'll eventually come. But I'm trying to make my mark right now. So thank you, everybody, for supporting. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And, hey, this Sunday, 8 o'clock, Megan Hanley, Hot Pudge Sunday one-on-one. All right, peace. Thank you. Much love.